Hello everybody, welcome back at Sport Federation TV. We're talking about what's happening with sport in the Western Cape. And of course our various administrators, our coaches, our teams, all very active. And we're heading towards the end of winter now, and I'm pretty sure that the activity is going to increase more and more. Tonight we've got a lot coming up for you. We're going to take a look at the world of boxing. We're going to touch with the guys from the IFBB, which is of course the International Federation for Bodybuilding. Hip Hop is going to be in studio with us, so a nice full show for you today. But of course now getting the ball rolling, so to speak. In studio with us is the assistant coach for the South African national under-18 baseball team. He's also from the Western Cape, Darren Smith. Darren, nice to have you back.
Thanks for having us, JP.
It's not the first time for you in the studio with us. When I think the last time we spoke to you guys, had you recently also been international?
Yes, we went for the WBSC qualifiers. You know, fairly productive trip. Didn't get the results we wanted, which are always up against a tough opposition. Yeah. But I think we've got some young players that are coming up, and it's going to prove successful. Yeah.
All right. So for the last few months, I mean, you guys had let's just quickly, before we go to the under-18 tour, you're going east again. You're going to Japan, to Okinawa this time. I'm sure you might bump into the Karate Kid there somewhere. Apparently he's from Okinawa. But and we'll talk about baseball in Japan in a second. But you've just come back now 3 months ago from Taiwan, where you guys, as the senior South African team, competed in probably one of the most prestigious events in baseball, the World Baseball Classic. How was that?
Yeah, incredible. You know, having a chance to play and even coach in front of that number of people in that atmosphere was incredible.
Was that at a big stadium, or?
Yeah, the capacity when we played the Chinese Taipei team, that capacity was 44,000. Yeah. It was absolutely mind-blowing. I think every athlete that was there, it's a special memory.
Yeah.
It's really unlike anything you're going to experience.
And that's in the Taipei Dome.
Yeah, that was a fully enclosed field, which I think made the volume of the spectators in that situation was just incredible.
Yeah. And the grass at that stadium, from what we understand, it's AstroTurf. It's a rubbery grass. It's not real grass.
Yeah. So the infield was turf, and then the outfield is a grass. There was a full turf field. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gives you the feel of grass almost, but it allows you to get a lot truer bounce.
Does that have an impact for you guys in terms of mobility around the stadium? Does AstroTurf or real grass slow you down or speed you up?
I think the turf plays a little faster. It's a little truer and a little quicker, so it's a little more forgiving when it comes on with regard to the bounce and fielding and that. But it does come on a lot quicker. So for us in South Africa, playing on all grass fields, it's quite an adjustment for the players to make that off the bat. You know.
You guys have now been through for the last few months preparing for the under-18 team to play also in the East, in Japan, which many have said is almost like the mecca for baseball, or at least let's just say it's very popular. Baseball is very popular in Japan.
Yeah, so that's the national sport. I mean, it's as close to the US as can be compared.
Yeah.
I think the pro teams there would compete more or less with some of the US teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really widely followed, and then outside of the US, definitely the place to play if you can get there.
So you got the under-18 team now going to compete against the rest of the world in Okinawa at the World Baseball under-18 World Baseball Championships. Have you got athletes from around the country? How's the training been looking?
Yeah, so training is basically, we obviously had the opportunity to have one camp as a combined unit.
Yeah.
And then we leave on Sunday for we'll have another one-day camp before we leave. So that'll be it, basically get the team together as a whole. But other than that, we're training regionally.
Yeah. What does that look like for you guys from a training point of view? I mean, especially in the Cape, in the Western Cape, in the last 3 months, it's just been raining day in and day out. It must be very difficult for you guys from a training point of view.
Yeah, so training is tough because obviously we're out of season firstly, and then secondly, obviously with the weather conditions. So we're fortunate with regard to Athlone Baseball Club. Has an indoor facility, although that's small, and it's paid per session. it still allows us to almost simulate or get as close to simulated gameplay as we can. So you make do with what you got.
Yeah. So what does that look like for you guys in a typical training session? I know we've got some photographs and videos here that we're going to look at, but do you concentrate on batting, pitching, fielding, fitness? What do your typical training sessions look like?
Yeah, so I mean, every training session will start with a warm-up, stretch, and throw. So we obviously trying to throw. We try and follow a throwing program. Obviously, indoors during the week, we're limited by distance,
Yeah.
and part of the strengthening of the arm is about long. We call it long toss, so throwing for distance. So whenever we can get outdoors and on the weekends, we obviously try and maximize the distance of the throwing.
How do you do that? How do you guys go about throwing a ball for, you know, an average person, someone like myself? I'll throw the ball 5 meters or 10 meters, but you guys are throwing the ball 50 meters, 100 meters.
Yeah, so the throwing program is basically run that we're taking the kids through now, the players through now, is basically an 8-week program.
Yeah.
That starts off like really limited distance, and then you build up the number of throws so your arm gets used to taking the load, and then you'll take them back generally further and further back, and then obviously try and maximize distance. Ideally, you want to try and get them back to as close to 100 meters as possible.
Is it something you guys actually just have taken for granted, that you're able to throw a ball 100 meters? I mean, it's absurd.
I think for the players, it's some of these players have never been on a throwing program.
Yeah.
And the beauty for me, or the reward for me as a coach, is actually to see the guys really understand, and for the first time,
Yeah.
they can throw, for example, 100 balls a session.
Yeah.
And not feel the pain of throwing
Yeah.
afterwards. So they've almost got a condition into the arm now.
Tell me a little bit about your coaching team. You've got coaches around the country. They've all been doing exactly what you guys been doing?
So yeah, so we've got a coaching group. So we share whatever the plan is, for example, that we set here in Cape Town, we'll
Yeah.
share with the coaches in Joburg.
Which is Dean McKinnon, right?
Yeah, there's Dean McKinnon, and there's a couple of Joburg coaches, various contingent on the ETS coaching staff.
Yeah.
That we've got a good team. It's split between the pitching coaches and the hitting coaches, and obviously Dean as the head coach. And then we've got the same sort of setup down here where we've got strength and conditioning and the assistant
And locally,
coaches.
you've got Kyle Titus with you.
Yeah, so
In
Kyle's,
the Eastern Cape is Daniel Kutzer.
yes.
Yeah.
And
And Mark Duplessis. And
yeah, Mark Duplessis he was one of the pitchers of the national team when I was still playing
Right.
back in the day. But yeah, so he's, it's a nice balance. I think the coaching staff's a really good balance between experience
Yeah.
and youth. So
Yeah.
Kyle Titus will be his first trip. And Mark Dupes will be back on the international stage.
Well,
if
sounds
call
like
it
you
that.
guys got a whole family experience happening here.
Yeah.
Once you leave, you guys leave now in the next couple of days. Big matches, big tournaments coming up. I mean, big teams you're up against.
Yeah, we're up. Particularly the first part of the group is really tough. We start off with Cuba. We get the likes of Japan, which will be great to play against Japan. And Japan is again, it's going to probably be something special.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 tournaments I've had the pleasure of being part of in Japan.
Yeah.
South African teams are really well received. So
Is it a game every day playing?
yeah, pretty much a game every day. 1 day break, and then we'll go through to the second tier,
Yeah.
second part of the tournament.
Yeah.
So that's a winners bracket, losers bracket, and then play another 3 games down the bottom half. So yeah, pretty full schedule.
All right, Darren, well, we'll leave it at that. We wish you and the rest of the South African team the very best of luck. As you know, the whole country is behind you guys. Everybody's always very proud of the green and gold and any athlete from the Western Cape that goes to compete there. Of course, we support the whole country, but particularly proud of athletes coming from the Western Cape. And we wish you guys the very best of luck. I'm sure that all the hard work will now pay off.
Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll try and represent the Western Cape and obviously South Africa.
Yeah.
Do them proud.
Fantastic. All right, folks. Good luck to our South African under-18 baseball team. They're then off to Okinawa to go and compete in the World Baseball Under-18 Championship. So good luck, guys. Right, folks, we'll be back after the break. Don't go away. More sport coming up.